Today, we're going to talk about the notion of bug-for-bug compatibility, and that's when you create a new system that is plug, and it could be hardware or software, a new system that is plug compatible with the existing one. And what that means is it's a system that behaves exactly like the existing system in order to allay fears about behavior, retain the existing interfaces or inputs or processes, retain all the existing data meetings, and make it possible to use the same testing tools and testing approach that you've used in the past. The 5 stages of bug-for-bug compatibility are: in step number 1, you outgrow the previous system or process or platforms or the paradigms or the hardware or something becomes obsolete. Number 2, you envision a new world where everything is possible and it could be amazing because you actually will be able to do things you couldn't do before. Stage 3 in the beef of the 5 stages is looking at the existing processes. You dig in and really trying to understand after you've looked at the vision, what are the hard parts of this that maybe the vision didn't take into account? And then in stage 5, you look at that, you look at the vision from stage 2, and you look at the existing processes in stage 3, and you realize that you don't actually know whether those behaviors are requirements or are they hacks that were done over time, right? Like part of the reason you rebuild or redo a process is so you can walk away of previous mistakes. And you realize in stage 4 that you don't actually know whether those are mistakes. Now you have hard decisions to make, and you hope that you don't break something important while you try and figure out whether those were hacks or whether they were actual requirements. In stage 5, well, stage 5 is the bug-for-bug compatible system. The old system becomes the design spec for the new system, and therefore the new system will behave with no untoward surprises, and you will get something that works at least the way it worked before. And those are the 5 stages of bug-for-bug compatibility. And what is the end game for bug-for-bug compatibility? What happens is you end up changing your business target to be a technical target. You're come through this in some ways. It's about salvaging the spend. You put a bunch of money into something and you realize it's pretty complicated. And so what are your highest odds of salvaging that spend? There may have already been a couple project reorgs around what you're doing, or a couple failed projects, like if you were doing hardware of some type. And there is an opportunity to gain some value out of this, including some business value and some technical value, replatforming, better tooling, more modern something, removing obsolete components. And you realize that other systems can't be broken. And because sometimes you're pulling out a live organ out of the body corpus of the company, and you end up with a system that is so complicated if you do something from scratch that the parallel testing is super intimidating, and the only way you're going to feel safe is if you can actually run the 2 systems at the same time in parallel with each other, or test them in parallel, and that means they need to be functionally equivalent. Otherwise, you can't tell if the parallel testing is valid. Another area of this is data migration. Turns out to be a massive headache at workplaces where data migration was bigger than actually building the system. And if it's bug-for-bug compatible, that implies that some of the data is going to have to work the same way. And so some of that migration effort becomes more mechanical and less business. What the heck did we do before? And the data and process risks in the existing system are known, and so therefore those risks are known in the end system, and you decide to not pick up new risk. So bug-for-bug compatibility, that's when you can't figure out how to make up the irreconcilable paradigms of the new and the old system, and instead build a transplant organ that supports the existing paradigms and patterns even where they were weird, because that's a weirdness you understand. And that's bug-for-bug compatibility. Have a great day.